Thrilled to be here. As you know, not only have I almost always participated in public debates as a candidate, the fact that we're having one here in upstate New York, I think is critically important. Now, the bad thing, of course, or the one thing that should be happening is the governor should be here. The governor has avoided public presentations. The governor has avoided opportunity to speak in front of the public. The governor has even avoided opportunities to answer your questions. But most importantly, he's turned his back on upstate New York, and upstate New Yorkers know it. After the last 8 years, they know in upstate the fact that not only do we have a corrupted state government, but we have an economy that just isn't keeping pace with the rest of the country. In fact, in the last 2 years, nearly 80% of all new jobs created in the state of New York have been downstate. And upstate New York continues to struggle with the highest burden of property taxes of any region in the state, highest burden of property taxes in any region in the country, while at the same time we lead the nation in out-migration, people leaving New York to other states. In fact, there's only one other state that beats us in out-migration, and that's Alaska, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the weather. But for the rest of upstate New York, we know the governor has turned his back on us, and today would have been and should have been an opportunity for him not only to defend his record, but to offer a forward-thinking agenda for the people of New York State. But again, he feels he's entitled to the office he holds. The rest of us on stage want to earn the votes of New Yorkers, and I've been doing that for the last several months, and we're going to do that until 9 p.m. Next Tuesday. But what I want upstate New York to know, and I want the folks here today to know, is that I will never give up on the people of the state of New York. I will never ignore the people of the state of New York, and I'll never take for granted the votes across the state of New York. I give them my word, and they can count on me. So with that, if you have a few questions before I have to apparently go inside and prepare. Anyone on anything?
Some of the topics we've heard that are going to be, on the forefront tonight: education, the economy, as you mentioned, and also infrastructure. What, if anything, I guess, will you do to make sure that both upstate and downstate are both equally addressed in tonight's?
Well, listen, the 1 hour monologue that I participated in against the governor in New York City barely scratched the surface on any issue. So you're right, we should be talking about upstate and downstate. But I'll reiterate my commitment to making sure, one, that we hold Albany accountable, we end the corruption that's stealing from taxpayers, and that we make smart investments in infrastructure and education, downstate and upstate. And the fact is that upstate New York knows the burden better than any region in America. And upstate New York needs a governor that's going to fight for them.
So the Conservative Party is running some ads, and I didn't hear them, but my colleague from WMC
I haven't heard them either.
WGY, and they're saying apparently vote for Molinaro is, support for Trump.
Yeah.
And we know you've been trying to distance yourself from Trump. Wondering what you think of that.
Yeah, I haven't heard them. Listen, I'm running on the conservative line because I present for the Conservative Party and conservative New Yorkers a approach to managing government that's responsible, holding the line on taxes, and shrinking the size, scale, and scope of government. I think for them, and certainly for voters across the state of New York, I'll be a strong fiscal manager. I haven't heard the ads, but I would offer this to you. Listen, I've been in elected office well before Donald Trump, well before Andrew Cuomo. I know exactly who I am, and when I'm elected governor, it's going to be incumbent upon me to agitate, irritate, and advocate on behalf of the people of the state of New York, which includes saying to the president and the federal government, we need smart investment in New York. We need investment in infrastructure, job growth, and New York State should experience what the rest of the country is experiencing, the most competitive economy in the world. So that's my commitment.
Did
Anyone
you
else?
listen to President Trump's press conference that just concluded?
No, I was on a flight here.
He talked about an invasion of the southern United States.
I haven't heard it.
And said that the military should treat people throwing rocks as if they were being shot at with weapons.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
The implication that they would be shot.
I haven't heard it.
What's your position on illegal immigration?
Listen,
the illegal part.
First of all, the federal government and Congress, Republicans and Democrats for generations, have avoided immigration reform. There is a need to ensure that we have an appropriate way to naturalize individuals coming into the country. We also have to provide border security, and quite frankly, we can't be in a position where people can just walk in, but it's a federal responsibility that's been avoided and ignored for years. I haven't heard or the president's comments today.
Yeah, aside from that, I just wanted to get your personal.
Anybody else?
Mark, how do you prepare for a debate when the person that the polls say is in first place is not here? Is it to change your objective, change your strategy?
No, listen. I think any candidate's job is to explain why you have earned the right to or at least why you have earned their vote. So my job is to stand in front of New Yorkers and say what Andrew Cuomo isn't saying, and that is that we ought to work to earn your support. that New York is not moving in the right direction, and that with a leader and a governor who understands how hard it is to live in New York, we might finally reduce taxes, make it easier, make it more affordable, and end the corruption that's stealing from people. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark, too.
See
I
you.
apologize. You were over my shoulder. I didn't see you there.
No, that's okay.